I am very glad uh, to be in this opening discussion with Robert. Actually, Robert Garcia is our Vice President of ICF Coaching in Organizations, who is responsible for leading the operations that enable global organizations to build coaching capabilities and develop a strong coaching culture. He's pivotal leader in coaching, culture development. Robert is renewed for his strategic approach to expanding organizational coaching capabilities. His global expertise is reflecting in a strong partnerships across 15 countries. Robert has an MBA and a Bachelor of Science of Management. He has 5 HR certifications, including the Senior and Global HR Professional. He has an associate certified coach from ICF and a certified association executive. Welcome, Robert.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great to be here. Really thrilled to be with all of you. And I heard that the conference yesterday was amazing, and hopefully today will be just as amazing. So thank you for inviting me, and thrilled to share some insights into really building a coaching culture within organizations. So. Shall I share my screen? Tell me full screen. It's all good.
All good. Thank you very much.
Okay, great. Well, thank you once again. Really, we know that excuse me, that coaching can transform lives, and we know that it has a tremendous power, and we're really excited to support the growth of coaching within organizations. As you know, ICF conducts lots of research and studies. We feel at the International Coaching Federation that a great accelerator of coaching is to work with organizations that are building coaching capabilities, whether that's to hire external coaches to work with the senior leadership team or everyone in the organization, or building internal coaching capabilities. Lots of organizations are building and hiring coaches to work full-time or part-time on this coaching. There are lots of organizations that have are giving individuals an opportunity to coach in addition to doing their jobs, and people are finding it incredibly rewarding. Also, we're very excited about leaders using coaching skills as well, and I'll talk to you a little about how we define a coaching culture, how this culture is really transforming organizations to develop great things. A little about ICF, you may have heard, you may have known, hopefully many of you are members not only of ICF Global, but of the chapter in Romania. Had the opportunity to meet Rudolf in Germany last year, and I know he's doing great things. Him and his team are amazing, and it's evident by the conference that they have actually hosted and are conducting today. So we have 63,000 members, 170 countries. We have lots of credential holders, as you see there. We also have accredited providers, and we're very excited that we have over 100 organizations that have joined us to help them with growing and really creating a coaching culture. And I'll tell you some exciting things that we're doing as well. We're part of the ICF ecosystem, and we find that coaching in organizations is a great accelerator to coaching, and we want to continue that support of organizational growth. The coaching market, just a snapshot of the coaching market, is very big, as you know, great potential, $2.9 billion estimated globally per year. And clients value education, where we love to stress the fact that when you are working with a coach, when you're hiring a coach, credentials is very important, and we value that, and so do clients. And if you're credentialed, you may be able to really generate more revenue on average. And then 74% of coaches report holding a credential, which is great for us, those that participated in the study. A little about, before I really talk about coaching, I want to talk about culture, because culture is very important. It definitely transforms business. We know that businesses are successful. Those businesses that have a great culture are better. Employees feel more productive. Employees feel more engaged. And as you see here, a number of studies, Deloitte, for instance, 94% of executives and 88% of their teams acknowledge that culture is a key to the success of the organization. 76% noted that direct influence of well-defined business strategy in cultivating a positive culture. So culture is very important to the organizations. Gallup says that 53% of employees view work-life balance as significant to really evaluating their jobs. We know that organizations that have high retention typically have not a good culture. And then Harvard said that learning-oriented cultures create a transformative environment. We see there what elements attribute to a strong transformative culture. So communication obviously is very important. Shared goals and values. We all are aligned with the goals and values of the organization, that we respect each other, that there is an environment of professionalism, that we treat each other with respect, that we're resilient, that we embrace change, and that we have this learning mindset, that we're ready to engage, and we want individuals to really embrace the learning experience. And I would hope that you look at these things and you're thinking to yourselves, if an organization is struggling, if there is not a good culture, if there is no open communication, all of these elements can be enhanced by coaching. We can transform the organization because these are the needs of the organization, and together we can build a culture through coaching that really improves and really builds a robust culture. And you see here from this slide that we can embrace an inclusive approach. We can work individually and collectively as well, networking across the organization to build this agility, supporting everyone and having meaningful dialogue, really having deep communications. And it affects not only the individual, but everyone around the individual that is creating this type of culture with this coaching mindset. So I encourage you to reach out to those organizations that you feel that may need, if you're an individual coach, if you're working for the organization, and see how you can implement a coaching approach, coaching culture within the organization to build this robust culture that will make the organization better and much more engaging. And certainly productivity and profitability are an important part. Also, I looked at an article recently that Harvard Business Review published, and it talks about future workplace trends. And I'm fascinated by what the future holds, what the generations, new generations that are working in the workplace. We have 4 or 5 different generations working side by side, and we all come from a different perspective. We are all a bit different in terms of what we want, but in general, the insights are very interesting. Employees today are looking for creative benefits. Interestingly enough, there's talk about a 4-day work week, and I kind of like that. I don't know how you feel, but it would be interesting to explore. You probably have to work longer days. I used to work for a university, and during the summer, we had Fridays off. And in the beginning, it was a little interesting to try and fit everything in within 4 days. But towards the end of the summer, when it was ending, we really got used to it, and we got very, very, very productive. So interesting to explore. I don't think it's going to take Many countries are going to take that, or many organizations are going to take that, but certainly interesting to explore. And certainly flexibility is an important part of that. Also, conflict resolution skills for leaders, and we can talk a lot about that and how coaching can help. There's a huge emphasis on skills requirements. Certainly before, when I started the workforce, a degree, a formal degree, a bachelor's. I went back and I also obtained a master's in business administration. The degrees were very important. I have as you heard, I have experience in human resources and been in human resources and then coaching for a very long time. And degrees were always sought after. You didn't necessarily hire people without formal degrees. Today, we're a little more flexible. Degrees, I believe, are still important. Certainly an important part. And I have two daughters that have advanced degrees, and we stressed that as they were growing up, and it was very important. But now skills requirements are as equally important. Individuals are really looking at what skill sets do you have? And how do you gain those skill sets? What do you need to do to really work in the organization and get the skills that are necessary for you to be successful and for you to contribute to the overall success of the organization? Also, especially new generations are shifting career paths. They start one career, and if you look at my career, I started in operations in the medical field. And somehow I ended up in coaching and at ICF. It's a varied path that took me to explore opportunities, and that's what individuals are doing. And that's what individuals today that are working in organizations are looking for: opportunities for growth, and exploring those opportunities to see what fits best with their life, with their career, with their objectives. And coaching, as you know, can help. We recently did a study. ICF did a study, and we asked the individuals that participated, and we categorized it by generations. The newer generations, the millennials, the Generation Zs, are looking for flexibility at work, but they're also looking for coaching. These new generations are asking not only for flexibility at work or negotiating their salaries, but also looking for asking, when will I get a coach? Because a coach, for them, they've experienced coaching and they know that coaching can transform their lives, can make them more successful. So we were very excited to see that and really understand. There is also a lot of work around mental well-being. We're doing lots of research around it. The workforce today is experiencing tremendous change, and we want to make sure that we help individuals and create a great environment where everyone is taken care of, whereas the employer, you have a responsibility to make sure that individuals within the workplace are getting along, are feeling well, and are being taken care of in terms of addressing any needs or any challenges that they may have. And I don't know if you've heard of something called artificial intelligence. I'm sure you have. AI is transforming the way that we work. We're going to talk a little about how AI is also changing the way that we work, enhancing everything we do, and even can provide us tremendous insights in the coaching process. I want to stop here. I don't know if you, Rudolf, if we have any questions, if you want to entertain some of those. I think I saw some chats.
We don't have any question, but I invite again the people to write something on the chat, and I will share you.
Yes. So feel free to ask any questions, and we will either address it as I'm talking, or at the end we'll leave some space for some questions. So thank you. So looking at the organization through coaching, we know that the organizations that have a robust or strong coaching culture are more productive and more profitable. We've seen that. We have data. I'll share with you some studies of incredible companies that are doing amazing things through coaching. And we can see there that it improves performance, it helps with change initiatives. Individuals feel more valued when there is a culture of coaching. And certainly it increases, as I said, productivity and profitability. We've done some research, and we've done this 7 times during the last a decade, and we've seen the trends, how they're improving, and we've gone out and defined what it is for organizations to have a coaching culture. And we're very excited about the work that we're doing. And I'll share these elements, and there's 6 distinct elements that we feel will contribute to a strong coaching culture in organizations. We need for employees to feel that coaching is valuable. And how we do that is an important part of creating a coaching culture. So we need to align coaching to the organizational goals and objectives of the organization. In order to create a coaching culture, in order for individuals to experience coaching, we need to make sure that it's aligned with the organization. We also need to promote coaching throughout the organization, have testimonials, have individuals talk about the success that they've had with coaching, how they've worked with coaches. And I know that I've done a lot of executive coaching, and I always make sure that I stress to the coachees to share their successes and experiences. We were very fortunate to recently be in a conference, and we had a booth, and we were talking about 2 organizations about developing a coaching culture. And we had one individual come and express to us at the top of his lungs that coaching had transformed his life. That he was who he was because of coaching. And we see that a lot. And it's amazing, and you as coaches can relate to how rewarding it is to really be with individuals that really think that coaching has really transformed or changed their lives. I mean, I don't think I've ever had a job that is more rewarding than being a coach, because you're really helping individuals reach their full potential, as our definition says. It's amazing what you can do and what individuals can do with the guidance, with asking perhaps pointed questions, with really revealing areas where individuals hadn't explored. They're able to really innovate as a result of the coaching process and the coaching mindset. And then really working hard, educating individuals that coaching is a tremendous perk. It is a benefit. The company will invest in your professional development, and provide you the opportunity to work with a coach. It is not punitive. It is not punishment. I believe that in the past, and I would hope that it's 10, 20 years ago, individuals are looking at coaching as something punitive, as something that you have a problem, hire a coach. Today, I am really excited to see organizations really using coaching as a tremendous opportunity for growth of individuals, and then having coaching available and accessible to everyone, making sure that it's engaging, and more importantly, or as just as important, make sure that we measure and communicate the return on the investment of the coaching. What is the impact that coaching has had on individuals, and from an employee perspective, make sure that they share those stories, as I said earlier. The other important piece or element of a coaching culture is that senior leaders value coaching. Make sure again that it's linked to the business strategy, that we can demonstrate tangible, actionable return on investment or return on expectations, and we'll talk a little about what those are and what metrics we can use to demonstrate the effectiveness of coaching. Also encouraging senior leaders to experience coaching first. We have seen organizations typically hire executive coaches to work with their senior leadership teams. In those organizations, and certainly those that are starting out with the coaching approach, with building a coaching culture, senior leaders that experience coaching find a tremendous value out of it and are excited about extending the coaching process throughout the organization. So if there isn't a coaching process, a great way to start is through the senior leadership team, getting them excited to experience coaching so that they can know the value that coaching is. I was recently working with an organization, and I was talking to the chief operating officer, and he was telling me how transformative coaching had been with him and how he needed for that to be for everyone within the organization to experience it. So you need a senior champion within the organization. And connect coaching to your leadership brand. Make sure that leaders within the organization understand coaching and the value of coaching, and certainly the skill sets to really use coaching skills to become more effective leaders. Making it easy and integrated into everything you do. As I mentioned, champions within the C-suite, senior leadership team, and then very important data, testimonials are all very important parts of creating a culture. We also stress that leaders and coaches receive coach-specific training, and that's a very important part. Anyone involved in coaching should have training. And I think that we're very fortunate that the member organizations that have joined are all really looking at providing coach-specific training to those that are involved in coaching. And many companies are accrediting their internal training programs or seeking accredited providers to ICF accredited providers to provide this instruction, and we feel that that's very important. It certainly drives performance and engagement, fosters a culture of coaching. We speak the same language. It provides an opportunity to gain credibility and certainly seek the credentials, the ICF credentials. Also, it assures quality assurance and high quality coaching. We know what we do, we know what coaching is and what coaching isn't, and we're able to provide a methodology that everyone feels comfortable and can gain tremendous insights and transformative aspects. And then obviously it adapts to the future of work. We also want the organizations to build a dedicated budget for coaching. Sometimes it's linked to professional development. The larger organizations, the ones with most robust cultures, are really creating a separate line item for coaching. That obviously aligns to the organizational goals, really shows or demonstrates return on investment and the potential that coaching has. Really develop a clear business case in terms of what the objectives are going to be and how we are going to do that. Many times the programs are piloted before they're actually rolled out through the organization, looking for ways to scale the coaching, providing some flexibility around it, and many times exploring technology solutions. And I'll talk a little about AI-enabled coaching, what the platforms are doing, what we're doing in terms of really extending coaching to everyone within the organization, and obviously demonstrating long-term value and perhaps looking at key performance indicators and how they're connected to the actual coaching process. And then a really important part is that coaching is available for everyone. We talk about equal opportunity for everyone to experience coaching. We see companies, I'll share an example of MD Anderson that has integrated coaching in the onboarding process. So on day one, when the individual starts, he or she is already experiencing coaching because in the onboarding process, they're integrating coaching. Certainly needs to be part of the talent development. Lots of organizations are using team or group coaching to really extend coaching and being available for everyone. As I said, platforms or digital or virtual coaching platforms are lots of organizations are utilizing it, and lots of organizations are using external coaches, particularly in the senior leadership team or directors and above. Typically, organizations are hiring external coaches at unprecedented rates, and we're excited to see that. And then lots of organizations are offering coach-specific training to address specific needs, and then obviously creating and implementing a coaching network so that everybody knows how to access or gain access to coaching. Also, we're really excited about integrating the three modalities of coaching, creating an environment where these three interconnect, and those include external coaches, so hiring individuals to come into the organization that bring different perspectives to the organizations, developing internal coaching capabilities, and we're really excited. Frequently, we get requests from member organizations asking for us to provide them with some referrals for credentialed coaches. So they're very interested in hiring full-time credentialed coaches to help them build coaching capabilities internally. And then I'll share with you very exciting a program that we have of leaders using coaching skills. We like to definitely talk about coaching skills for all conversations. We know and we've seen how coaching starts one-on-one from a very macro level, extending through managers and leaders using coaching skills, team coaching. When the organization really creates a coaching culture, it permeates. It's what we call a ripple effect. To all types of relationships. When everyone is involved in coaching and we're working together, we're creating this coaching culture in the communities and globally. We see and we've heard testimonials that this coaching approach continues beyond the workplace. Relationships are enhanced because of experiencing the coaching. If you work with a coach, then it stays with you, and you're using the coaching approach in personal relationships as well. So we're really excited about the ripple effect that coaching has on the organization. As you may know, we have a new credential on team coaching, and team coaching is a co-creative, reflective process. The leader typically has the team working together on a common goal, looking at the dynamics of the team, collaboration and sharing, accountability, holding each other accountable, and supporting each other in collective as well as individual goals to make sure that the team achieves results and problem solves and develops internally. We're also really excited about seeing group coaching. We're working with a member organization that has established group coaching, and group coaching is different. Group coaching is a collaborative process where we all come together to share this collective wisdom that we have among a group, creating a space where we're self-aware, we're learning together, we share some goals, work together, perhaps on some challenges or common themes, and we're using a coach approach to have better dialogue, holding each other accountable, fostering this environment of peer learning, and making sure that we experience this diverse perspective and shared experiences of working within an organization. But we all come from different perspectives and have different challenges that we come into and we share. A little about AI-enabled coaching. We know that it's increasing accessibility. AI coaching is available in those organizations that are implementing AI-enabled coaching. It's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, allowing support to organizations. It's not for everyone. It's not for every situation. We know that human coaches are alive and well, and there is a tremendous need for human coaches and it will continue to be one of the most important coaching approaches to work with individuals one-on-one or in teams. But AI-enabled coaching has a space. It enhances efficiency. As coaches, perhaps I've heard many coaches using it for scheduling, for automating routine tasks. As I said, AI has really permeated into everything that we do, and perhaps in some challenges, helping you be much more effective and really gain some perspectives that you may not have thought of. And platforms have extended the coaching services to everyone within the organization. We do emphasize, as ICF, as the largest representative of professional coaches in the world, ethical standards, and we had a task force. We had individuals from all different perspectives involved in AI coaching to look at these ethical standards that are available, and I'll share those with you where you can find them. But we want to make sure that there's transparency, clearly communicate the role and capabilities of AI systems, that there's an identification that you're being coached by AI-enabled process, that there continues to be privacy and security, data protection, as you know, is very important, and that we look at bias mitigation, ensuring AI systems are designed to minimize bias, providing fair and equitable coaching experience to everyone, that it's accessible to everyone, that we treat everyone with accessibility to coaching. Rudolf, I'm going to stop and see if there are any questions or any comments.
Actually, we have a question related to this topic. Anna asked us, how do you see this future for our profession? AI is ready to substitute us?
No, I don't think so. I think we are doing a lot of work. In fact, we're really excited that we hired a director of artificial intelligence that's going to help us integrate AI into everything we do. But humans are here to stay. Human coaches are an integral part of organizations, of our profession. I don't think that AI-enabled coaching is going to replace us. So I am confident that individuals want to work one-on-one with coaches, and that will really it's going to give us more opportunities to work individually with individuals. And we've seen how organizations are using AI coaching, and that just opens up opportunities to experience coaching, but it also gives them an opportunity to ask for and request human coaches. So I think it's a great opportunity for all of us to learn and experience it, but utilizing it as part of the coaching process. Here's you can ask for it's coaching available to everyone, navigating the future of coaching with AI resources provided by ICF. It has an implementation guide. It has some webinars, self-assessment tools. So feel free. I will share this presentation with you so that you can have access to it. The other interesting piece that I wanted to share with you today is leaders using coaching skills. So this is a great accelerator of coaching within organizations for leaders to utilize coaching skills. Now, we make a distinction that the leader will not be your coach. So if you report to someone, the leader will use coaching skills, but he or she will not be your coach. If you want to experience true coaching, you need to go out and find a coach or work with someone else other than your leader. Because the reason we say that is every communication, every interaction you have with your boss has consequences. If you're thinking, for instance, let's look at an example of leaving the organization. I don't know if you want to tell your boss directly and say, hey, boss,
work with me on exiting the organization. It has consequences. It may be, it puts doubt in the leader's mind, but you could work with, if that's what you want, you could work with a coach to help you articulate that conversation before you have it with your boss. We've seen how leaders using coaching skills are becoming much more effective leaders, and many of them are very interested in becoming coaches, and we encourage them to seek the professional training or coach specific training to become coaches and train others or coach others within the organization. But we find that leaders using coaching skills is a great way to really enhance the coaching culture within organizations. We do surveys on a regular basis, and this is one of my favorite surveys. It's the Global Awareness Study, and it really talks about how coaching is being used. We see there external coaches, internal coaches, and managers and leaders using coaching skills. The differences, the nuances of how this coaching approach is being used. External coaches are more focused on leadership development, improved communications. Internal coaches are more about employee engagement, certainly leadership development as well. And then managers and leaders improve communications, leadership, as well as team building. So it's an interesting piece of the top reasons why individuals are engaging in coaching. And I'll leave this with you. So if you're thinking of designing a coaching culture, here's some elements that you may want to consider. We're looking at the purpose or the objectives of the coaching process, aligning obviously with the strategy, as we talked earlier, making sure that there's buy-in, incorporating it into the talent development process, training of leaders, monitor, and making sure that we're holding individuals accountable for the coaching responsibilities as well. We have, as part of the support that we provide organizations, we have what we call journey cards. And if you work for an organization, are interested in finding out more information, or interested in working with organizations that are building coaching cultures, the journey cards is a great way to explore kind of opportunities, talk about what is the end result of creating this coaching culture. So it uses a coach approach, it asks questions and provides opportunities for you it has examples so that you can think about what is it that you want. So if you want more information, please go onto our website so you can access the journey cards that we have available for organizations that are building coaching capabilities. So let's look at the world today. What is the state of coaching? Employees we see are craving coaching, as I said earlier, especially the newer generations. There are new ways to work. The workforce is changing tremendously. There's a shift. Coaching is becoming an essential part of what we do. Leaders are using coaching skills. Organizations are finding tremendous value and impact of coaching because we're more engaged, more innovative. Retention improves tremendously. Turnover reduces. So these are significant parts. And we are excited about launching our Coaching Culture Compass report. So this is an opportunity for an organization to assess the culture that they have within their organization, identifying gaps in what we define as a coaching culture, and really laying the groundwork for a coaching culture within the organization. So we will be launching in the next few months. Certainly, if you are a member or if you're interested, we will have lots of information for you as we launch and implement the Coaching Culture Compass throughout organizations. And finally, I wanted to share some results with you of what we call the best in class. We have the ICF Coaching Impact Awards. And this year, MD Anderson was the winner. Last year, AstraZeneca. And I wanted to share, the year before was Intel. And I wanted to share some perspectives in terms of these leaders. So If we take a look at MD Anderson and what is happening, newly appointed or promoted leaders have receive onboarding coaches. They've seen a 52% reduction in new leader turnover. So they were experiencing new leader turnover, and when they implemented coaching, they saw a dramatic change in that. Leaders are incorporating it in talent discussion. A coach and development approach is part of their leadership performance reviews. 70% of employees receive coaching they've developed a coach finder software internally so that everyone has access to coaching. 41% promotional rates, or those individuals that are experiencing coaching are promoted 41% more than those that aren't. 48% reduction in turnover, and 200 internal coaches have graduated for an ICF accredited program. So as a result, they've seen tremendous change in the organization. AstraZeneca, managers and leaders have generated a cost savings of $4 million US, which is amazing. They've aligned with their growth and diversity, promoting a coaching mindset. 34% talent promotion rate. So those individuals experiencing coaching were promoted 34% more. And you can see there the results: 89% improved skills, 83% personal development opportunities. And they feel that they've implemented a 100% coach approach to everything they do. And then 45% reported positive mindset and trust from the coaching approach. I've given you a link to the case studies as well, so that you can look at the specifics, how they did the metrics that they used and implemented. Intel, so a couple of years back, invested in people. You see there the tremendous really metrics and analytics that they've used. They really determined that there was a return on investment using coaching that contributed to $1 billion US per year in operating margins. Their net promoter scores improved. And anecdotally, and I love this anecdotal feedback, that coaching transformed my life, my career, relationships, and my role as a business leader. So we can see how coaching is really transforming the way that organizations are working. And then additional winners, past winners, the Department of Commerce, part of the United States government, 2,000 employees in 70 countries, an ROI of 225% with, as you see, their cost savings, and they implemented coaching skills workshop for leaders. Cleveland Clinic went to a philosophy of inspire and coach, trained 2,600 leaders, and they generated a cost savings of $84 million. And then finally, SAP, $2.6 million cost savings and an ROI of 289%. Also a grassroots effort, 600 coaches receive 128 hours of training. So there's a huge commitment to a coaching approach within the organization. And here are some of the elements or some of the metrics that are being used in organizations. Here are some things that we can look at to demonstrate the impact that coaching has. We need to measure everything we do so that we can demonstrate the tremendous value that coaching has on the organization. And then I've given you a perspective on how we implement a coaching process. This is a roadmap or a guide to developing a coaching culture. Many organizations are using a coach approach. Many of them are looking at developing internal coaching, but it all starts with a vision and the business case. And then really celebrating successes in the organization. So thank you very much for your time. I think we have a few minutes for additional questions, and I'd love to entertain those.
Thank you very much, Robert. Very, very important data you share with us, and I am sure all this data, when we share with our participants, will be very valuable. I will pick up just one question because we have just 1 minute to answer it. You talk many times about the role of coaching. Could you give us a specific methods or tools have you used in the practice to measure and demonstrate this?
Yes, so we organizations are really looking at that return on investment. What are we spending on the coaching process? And more importantly, what is the impact of coaching? So working individually with individuals. So as we're contracting or as we're determining part of the agreement with the coachee is to determine how are we going to demonstrate that we were effective, that we either saved money, created a better environment where, I saw a question around turnover. Using a coach approach will make sure that individuals are more engaged, that the communication improves, and this can be attributed to decreasing the turnover or increasing the retention. So we need to look at all of the indicators that already exist within the organization and measure them before the coaching starts and after the coaching starts and see if there's significant difference. That's what organizations are doing. I encourage you to look at the case studies because they're specific examples of how the return on investment was determined and their formulas. We as ICF are creating a guide or some sort of formula so that individuals can look at the return on investment so that you can really demonstrate the impact or the transformative power of coaching within an organization.
Thank you very much, Robert, and I would like to thank you also for all the participants. We are moving forward, and our ICF conference day 2 continue with the next speaker. You have the link on the chat and also all the material we will share with you. I would like to thank you again to Robert Garcia to be present and an opening speaker at our conference. And I would like to a wonderful and learningful day here at ICF Romania. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, and continue to enjoy the conference. It's a pleasure to be with all of you, and thank you for the invitation. Really appreciate it, and thank you for participating and listening. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.